Good day everyone, my name is Angeline Mori. Today, I will share to you our report for Module 7, Lesson 2. Netizenship and Etiquette in Online Communities. For the lesson outcomes of this report, learners must be able to define netizenship and etiquette, formulate a set of netiquette guidelines, and create a campaign video to promote etiquette. Now, for the next topic, kinsa diri ang familiar sa internet? How about social media? Of course, kitang tanan no, especially coming from the online learning modality. Online community is a collective where the people involved are part of the online world. Because we're all familiar with this, and sure ko mogamit pud ta ani. This would make us part of the online community. Atong involvement sa social media and other internet domains, mao'y nagpabilang nato ani nga community. Netizenship pertains to the online counterpart of being a citizen. It means being a citizen in the online community, a user of the internet, and a connected individual through the net. And just like in the real world, we are part of a community and a society. We are considered citizens who live among other people in a particular place. With that being said, kaya apilmanta sa online community, then that would mean that we are citizen. Obviously, na-derive na siyang word from the word citizen, but still synonymous sa gihapon ang meaning. By definition, the word netizen literally means a citizen in the online world. Basically, matawag na ta nga netizen basta internet user ta. Netiquette. This pertains to the online counterpart of etiquette, the rules of conduct for respectful and appropriate communication on the internet. Going back to being a citizen, there are few etiquettes that are customary in order to be polite and live harmoniously with other people who are part of the society. Maura pud ni sa online nga society, naputay gitawag nga netiquettes, which are commonly understood and agreed norms nga atong i-follow para makakreata og harmonious online space. To belong to the online society, we must learn how to be respectful and appropriate with our behavior. Remember guys, ang atong digital world kay permanent na. Everything we do in that space will leave a footprint. Now, to expand further about these netiquettes, here are some guidelines that can help you become responsible netizens. First, protect your reputation. Whether in a real or in virtual world, you are the same person. Do only what is appropriate and share information that does not harm you as a person. Remember guys, atong reputation can affect so many parts of our lives. Ato na siyang identity, and dapat atong i-maintain na not just for others, but for ourselves too. Second, respect others. Respect begets respect. Treat everyone with respect even if you have not seen him, her in person. Be judicious about what you say on your own and others' pages. Of course, para ma-maintain ang peace sa atong online community, we should avoid chaos as much as possible. And being respectful is the key aspects in that regard. If gusto ta respetohon sa uban, we must first respect others too. Third, express yourself clearly and use emotions. Communication online is difficult because emotions are not evident during communication. So, kini, diri mag-spark ang mga miscommunications. Tungod ani no, daghan kaadyong magkaaway. That is because natural ra ang pag-express sa atong storya sa personal pero sa online lahi. Di man nato ma-express ang atong facial expression, atong tone sa voice, and atong mga gestures. So dapat ato jud i-utilize properly ang mga emoji or emoticons. Dili pud ta magpataka og gamit og emoji para di ta misinterpret. Narabay uban nga complete opposite ang emoji nga ilang gigamit as opposed sa ilang gibati. Fourth, remember the intellectual property. Ideas online are products of intelligence of others. If you need to cite them, acknowledge the authors, you definitely do not want to steal properties of others. So kini is very important ni Sija. We must learn how to properly credit sources and never ever plagiarize. Pwede ra ba jud ta ani mapriso? So, dapat ta maka-understand sa idea nga fair use and disclaimers. Fifth, check spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Since your face cannot be seen online, you will be judged according to your post. Good writing means good manners. We do not want to waste other people's time reading our posts which is incomprehensible. Usa po ni siya nga makapa-miscommunicate nato. Especially kay naiuban nga words nga bisan usara ka letter mabag-o. Mausob na entirely ang meaning. Atong grammar dapat pud natong bantayan. Labi na kay if magka-wrong grammar ta, we might be labeled as incompetent and no one will take us seriously. 6. Post before you post. Take note that whatever you post become permanent. Therefore, think twice or thrice before you click send. So before da ita mag-post no, dapat ta mo post sa last minute or second nga naman para atong ma-sure jud nga unsa ang atong i-post o gusto ba jud ni nato i-post. Kay what if lagi mag-change ka sa imong mind o nadara ka sa imong emotion anang tungura. Careful jud ta always. Labi na ka if masadyo pra kagamay, the internet is so unforgiving ra ba. 7th, do not share your personal information. Sharing your personal information online is like going around the streets wearing a shirt printed with your name, birthday, address, name of your parents, and etc. Obviously, atong personal information, di jud na nato dapat i-share bisan kinsa. Bisan pa sa imong friends, imong uyab. Why? Kay importante na nato as an individual na adira makita ng atong true identity, atong personal connections, atong personal space, and pwede ta i-attack using our personal information, pwede ta i-blackmail, pwede ta i-bribe, pwede ta i-exploit sa lain tungod ra sa atong personal information. And lastly, think about who or what you are representing. As a son-daughter, you represent your family. As a student, you represent your school. You do not want your family or school to be put to shame by what you do. Dapat yun natong hunahunaon kung kisa nga tong gibarugan, just like pag-elections. Kung mag-post gani ka sa imong presidente, for example, daghan kaadyong mudapig nimo. Pero at the same time, daghan pud mo criticize sa imong gibarugan. And moabot na sa point nga ikaw or anyone connected to you na pod ang matarget sa criticism. So, in conclusion, we must all learn what it takes to become a proper netizen. For our sake, for others' sake, and for the online community's sake.
Good day, everyone. My name is Angelica Polistico, So I will discuss about Lesson 3, Intellectual Property Rights on the Development and Use of Digital Materials. So when we say intellectual property rights on the development and use of digital materials, unsay masud sa inyong hunahuna? Naka-familiar ba mo ani nga topic? Lesson outcomes. Number 1. Identified examples of intellectual property right in educational setting. Number 2. Define the copyright laws. Number 3. Cited consequences when copyright laws violated. So, what is intellectual property right? Intellectual property protection is important in fostering innovation. Intellectual property, according to World Intellectual Property Organization or WIPO, refers to creation of minds such as inventions, literacy and artistic works, designs, and symbols, name and images used in commerce. And Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines administers and implements state policies in relation to intellectual property. So the intellectual property right is gikan na sa human intellect or who create original works such as artistic works, inventions, literacy, design, symbol, name, and images. The intellectual property right is na kay right ug unsaon na nimo nang imong na-create. For example, photographer ka, na kay right nga kanang imong gi-capture, imo nang butngan og logo nimo para mapatuod nga ikaw nag-credits. Bisan pag wa kay gisignan nga papers, na kay intellectual property right ana kay imo man na. So in Republic Act 8293, this act defines intellectual property to include copyright and related rights, trademarks and service marks, geographic indications, industrial designs of integrated circuits, and protection of undisclosed information. So, unsa ni ang trademarks? When we say trademarks, is maunig pag-register recognizable design or true color. Even sa smell, pwede na siya sa trademark para ma-identify ang specific na product. Diba sa Nike, for example, natay makita nga check design. So, sa Nike na naka-trademark. Then, sa Jordan nga shoes, di ba, na-design nga nagunit si Jordan og bola. So, naka-trademark na siya sa Jordan. Sa trademark, makita nimo usually na ay symbol nga R or TM. Ang kanang R stand for registered trademark. Then, kanang TM stand for trademark. A survey of over 63,700 U.S. undergraduate and 9,250 graduate students over the course of 3 years, 2002 to 2005, conducted by Donald McKay Pratcher's University revealed the following. So, monig some issues of plagiarism. So, 36% of undergraduate admit to paraphrasing, copying few sentences from internet source without footnoting it. So, unsam din ng footnoting or footnote. Ang kanang footnote mao kanang always nga nakabutang sa ubos sa books page na mo nagmakadagdag og details sa mga gimension sa page. And then 24% of graduate students self-report doing the same. 38% admit to paraphrasing or copying few sentences from writing without footnoting it. 25% of graduate students self-report doing the same. 14% of students admit to fabricating or falsifying a bibliography. 7% of graduate students self-report doing the same. 7% self-report copying materials almost word for word from a written source without citation. 4% of graduate students self-report doing the same. 7% self-report turning in work done by another. 3% of graduate students self-report doing the same. 3% report obtaining paper from term paper mill. 2% of graduate students report doing so. The Josephson Institute Center for Youth Ethics surveyed 43,000 high school students in public and private schools and found that 1 out of 3 high school students admitted to plagiarize an assignment. Copyright. Copyright refers to the legal right given to the owner of the original work or intellectual property. These works are original intellectual creations in the literacy and artistic domain protected from the moment of their creation. So, ang copyright is under na siya sa intellectual property right. For example, nakagi-compose nga kanta, na kay copyright ana nga pwede na nimo ipagamit sa laing tao or pwede na nimo ipa-cover. Same ra pud nas anang imong laptop, na kay copyright nga pwede na nimo ipahuwam sa imong bang classmates or friends. So, moning mga examples sa copyright, which include the following: books, pamphlets, article, and other writings, periodical and newspaper, lectures, sermons, addresses, dissertation prepared for oral delivery, whether or reduced in writing or other materials forms, letters, dramatic or dramatico-musical compositions, choreographic works, or entertainment in dump shows, musical composition, with or without words, works of drawing, painting, architecture, sculpture, engraving, lithography, or other works of art, models or designs for works of art, original ornamental designs or models for articles of manufacture, whether or not registrable as an industrial designs, and other works of applied art, illustration, maps, plans, sketches, charts, and three-dimensional works relative to geography, topography, architecture, or science. Drawings or plastic works of scientific or technical character, photographic works including works produced by a process analogous to photography, lantern slides, audiovisual works, and cinematographic works, and works produced by a process analogous to cinematography or any process for making audiovisual recording, pictorial illustration and advertisements, computer program, and other literary, scholarly, scientific, and artistic works. Copyright infringement is the use of works without permission, where the copyright holder has the exclusive right to reproduce, distribute, display, or perform the protected work, or to make derivative works. Proper citations should be used when including them in our output. The copyright infringement is wala kay permission gikan sa owner bisan pag maggamit ka og CTTO or credits to the owner di na valid kay wa kay acknowledgement or permission from the owner nga imo nang gamiton ang iyang images or text content in social media. Same as no copyright infringement intended. Below are the guidelines on online use of copyrighted materials by Ismaldino, Lothar, and Russell. Number 1. Contrary to popular opinion, all material on the internet is copyrighted unless stated otherwise. It is copyrighted even if it does not display the copyright symbol. From the word, all material is copyrighted unless stated. It means every creation like music, arts, and etc. is a copyright as long as naakay nakastate na ikaw gaon nga gahimo. Number 2. An email is an original work, fixed, intangible medium of expression that is covered by copyright. Hence, it is recommended that you should not forward any email without permission, in consideration of both copyright and Privacy Act. So, email is an original work. So, it means before ka mohatag or mo share og email without permission from the email owner is bawal kay naka-copyright na siya ug naa sa atong copyright law and can cause you into serious case. Number 3, downloading an article from a newspaper's website, making copies and distributing them to your students prior to a class discussion on the topic is permissible, following the current photocopying guidelines which permits making multiple copies for classroom use. The exception would be individually violent, copyrighted articles or articles from a source especially designed for the educational market where such articles cannot be copied legally for class distribution. So, if ever mo download mo or muhimo kag copy sa article related to school or schoolwork, needs is permitted. Pero dili tanan kay some articles are designed for school pero naa pud uban nga prohibited for school and can't be copyrighted. Number 4, you cannot post students' essay, poems, or other works on the school website unless you have permission of the students and their parents or guardians. So, school essays or uban pang school-related paperworks or arts is included in copyright kay na sila mga owner which is students na nagahimo. Kung need i-post sa website or i-post sa school, you need to get their permission first. Number 5, educators should treat copyrighted materials from the internet the same way they do to print formats. So, downloading or copying format, for example, lesson plan, nandiyan wa kay permission sa owner. That's why makonsider sa plagiarism. So, you must have permissions to the owner or citing the sources ug mogamit kag format gikan sa internet. Plagiarism. So, kaybaw ko mostly natutanan, kaybaw nata kung unsa ng plagiarism. Plagiarism, according to plagiarism.org, is an act of fraud. It involves both stealing someone else's work and lying about it afterward. Plagiarism.org further elaborates the following as plagiarism. Number 1, turning in someone else's work as your own. For example, mang-copy-paste ka og essay, unya imong angkunon nga ikaw naghimo. Number 2, copying words or ideas from someone else without giving credit. For example, magkuha kag answer from Google without citing the sources. That's why it is considered in plagiarism. Number 3, failing to put a quotation in quotation marks. Dili nimo butngan og quotation mark ang text or speech by someone. For example, Lamar said, "The case is far from over and we will win." So, ang kanang "the case is far from over and we will win" butngan na og quotation mark. Number 4, giving incorrect information about the source of quotation means copying a passage of someone else's words and giving wrong credit about the source or lahi nga info nga imong mabutang about sa author. Number 5, changing words but copying the sentence structure of a source without giving credit. Makonsider siya og plagiarism labi nag halos tanan na laman imong gisundog unya same rag thought but gilahi laman pag-construct. Number 6, copying so many words or ideas from a source that it makes up the majority of your work, whether you give credit or not. It also considered as plagiarism kay from the word nga copy, so it means dili jud na imong original work, whether nihatag kas credit or wa, basta from the word copy. For images, videos, and music, the following are counted as plagiarism. Number 1, copying media from other websites to paste them into your own papers or websites. If ever na kay own website or own social media project, unya mokuha ra ka og images na imuhang gamiton sa lain na website para ana na media is plagiarism. Number 2, making a video using footage from others' videos or using copyrighted as part of the soundtrack. Example is pag-vlog. Unya, i-post nimo sa imuhang website using copyrighted soundtrack or dili imuhang original song is plagiarism. Number 3, performing another person's copyrighted music. A stated example ay ang pag-cover of songs of other artists and wala nimo gi-state or you did not cite the real artist. Number 4, composing a piece of music that borrows heavily from another composition. This means composing a song nga halos tanan lyrics or words imong gikuha sa idea sa uban nga kanta unya nanay mga owner. In short, plagiarism is without permission from the owner and without citing the sources. Do you observe when we conduct a research, nandiyan na ibutang nga sources kay para di na mahimong plagiarism. So, plagiarism versus copying infringement. In other words, plagiarism is refers copying the work of another and claiming it as one's ideas or without proper attribution, violation of the right of the copyright holder, and ethical violation. While the copying infringement is copying one's work without obtaining permission, violation of the right of author, and legal violation. So, that's all and thank you.